Our first thing on guitar is going to be this B flat chord. 1, 3, 3, starting on the A string. And we're going to go. So we have a tight hit. That's called a staccato hit. That's where there's a little dot above the chord there in the tab. So we have one of those. We wait a while. We have another one. And then we have one that we're going to hold out. We go. Okay, we hold that a long time. Keyboard does stuff, maybe some bass. Now we're going to have a moving power chord riff here. I kind of like to use just 2 fingers and use my pinky on that. It helps me move them around quicker, so it's... So that was starting on the A string bass note, right? We got 1 and 3. We're going, this is a B flat. We got B flat, C. That's like C sharp or D flat. 1, 3, 4, 3. And then we have 1. And then we jump to the big string. 4, 3, 1. So it's 1, 3, 4, 3, 1, 4, 3, 1. And then we go 3 back to the A string. 3, 4, 1, 1. On the D string now. Up to the 3. So 1, 3, 4, 3, 1, 4, 3, 1, 3, 4, 1, 1, 3. And then we go 1, 3, 1, 3 on the A string. And then we go 4, 4, 4, 4. That's going A to E string. So. And then we do one more set of that 4, 4. And then we go 1 to 1. And now we're going 2. That was 4, 6, 8, 6. So let's go from our new part again. We had 1, 3, 1, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4. So. And then one more set of that, 1 to 1. And then we do the walk up. We have big 2. And then we come down to the A. 4, 6, 8. Big 6, 8. And then 4, 4. So that was big 4 to A 4. 4, 6, 4, 4. 4, 6, 4, 4, 4, 6, 4, 4, 4. And then we go 6, 4, 2 on the big string. Then we jump down to the D to that first fret. 1, 2, 3, 4 and the 3rd fret. Back to that B flat. So when we get to that walk up on that 2, then we jump down to 4, 6, 8. It's like this. 6, 4, 4, 4, 6, 4, 4, and then quicker. And then we have the walk down, 6, 4, 2. Jump to the high 1. To the 3, B flat. So I'm gonna run it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. I would definitely take a look at the tab on that. It makes it a lot easier. We wait for a long time. We have more keyboard stuff, and then you go through all of that stuff again. Now, once we get to that last one, we hold that out. We're going to go to the C, 3 and 5. So you end up doing that 6 times. There's like organ and stuff, things going on. And then we get into the first solo. So the first solo is... Okay, excellent solo. Kind of slow, tasty enough. You can really take in all the notes. Very memorable, great solo. So we got 16th fret of the 2nd string, 2 bends, and some vibrato on the 2nd one. So it's like we're in F minor pentatonic kind of right here, and then we're going to switch to F major. So you know your minor pentatonic would have these notes, where your major pentatonic has these 13s and 15s instead of 16s. So we got... So we had the 13 on the 2nd string, hit it a 2nd time and hammer to the 15. 13, 15, 13. 2 2 bends on that 15, and then we bend it down. So it's bent down, 13 on the first, 15 on the second, 15 to 15, back to that 13. So once again, we got. So here we slide into the 18 on the second string with the middle finger. 17, 18, 20. We're gonna bend that 20 up. So we hit the 17, 18, 20, and then we hit the 20 again and bend it. The very end of that measure, the very last little note, is a 20 right here. Okay, right at the end there, and then we have a triplet. So it's slower than the notes coming after, which will be 16th notes, so it's. See that? So it's 1 and 2 and so it's 17, 18, 17, and then where you get that 18 on the second string as the third of those 16th notes. And then we go 20 to pull off to 17, 18 on the second, to that little 17 and back, so. We're gonna slide into the 13 on the second string to start. So we have second string a couple times, first string and back, little first string again, and then we have 4 bends on the 15, and the last one kind of goes up and down twice. So once again on the solo, we got. Okay, excellent solo. I just love that one. Okay, then we get into a verse, and we just wait on the guitar. There's some keyboard stuff going on. And then when it's time, we come in with. So that's a B flat power chord, big 6, 8, 8. That's an E flat power chord up to the F. We're gonna hold that F for a while. And then we'll do that again. Okay, then we get to the chorus, and this is on an acoustic guitar, but we're gonna keep it here. We're gonna go. So we got this F here. So 2 hits on that F, and then chicka chicka. You wanna mute all those strings, so. Take it down to the E flat. And then we're going. So that was E flat to B flat, and then chicka, bom, bom, chicka, chicka. So. So once we hit the first B flat, we have 2 chicks. We hold it a little bit, and we hit it again. So. Chicka, chicka. And that starts the whole thing. So 2, 3, and. And when you get to the last one, the 6th one, you're gonna go. Okay, so we hit this D minor chord with an A bass. So it's like your D minor chord would be starting on the A string, 5, 7, 7, 6, 5. We can add this A bass to it, makes it nice and big. So we got. Hold that for a while, and then we go. That's D, E, F, G power chords. So 5, 7, 8, and 10. And then once we get into that 10, we're like. So, we we jump from this lower G, G to A to B flat. So the whole thing would be like. Okay, so we chug on that B flat for a long time. Then we're into the next solo. The next solo is. So what we have is, we're in this F major pentatonic. There's your F. We got this 10 to 12 in the D. So we got some hammer in here. 10 to 12 hammer on the D. A couple 10s there. 12, 10, 12 in the D. Double 10 and then a 10 with slide. Slide into the 12, 10, 10. Pull off 12 to 10. 2 bends on that. The last one comes downwards. So it's. And then we have a. You got a 10 to 13 real quick on the second string. Bend the 13. 4 bends total on that. And then we have a 10 here in the G string. We start doing a quick trill with the 12 and 10 there. And at the last second of that, we get to the 17 and we go. It's like a pickup note for this fast thing. We go. So we have a 20, 18, and 17 double pull off 10 times in a row. So we have this pickup note and then we get into those 10 things. Then we hit the 20 on the second string and bend it. We kind of slide it down while it's bent. And then we have this 15 of the G string, bend, and then down, and bend, and down, and bend. And then we go 14 twice on the G string. So 14 twice, and then bend that 16. Second string, same one that started the first solo. So. Okay, so we got a C sharp minor chord, and that starts on the A string, 4, 6, 6, 5, 4. We're gonna go to this A chord up here. We got 5, 7, 7, 6. We're really just hitting kind of the bassy notes of that, but you can do your full bar chord if you want. So we got. Okay, so we had a chord and then kind of a pick scratch on the way to the A. We kind of hit 2 A's. And then we go chicka chicka. So here we had an E chord. You got your 7 with the 9s. And this is like a B power chord, 7, 9, 9. We're going to lift that 5th string 9 out and bring it back in. So we got. Okay, so while that guitar is doing that, the other one comes in with a. Okay, so what that is we got the big 9th fret on the E string. We got 9, 9, 9, 6, 7 on the A. So we got, and that was a 9 to 6, and then 7, 6, 7 on the big one, back to the 9. So it's. This time you go 7, 9, 11, 12, 9, 11, hammer on, pull off, back to 7. So nice and slow. It's. second time. And then we settle into a new riff. It's gonna be. Okay, so you could have that E kind of riding along with it, or if you didn't have that E riding, it'd just be like this part of an E chord, these nines and the D string down to B. And that's part of an A chord, if you think about that A shape right there. So that's the 11, 9, and 10 on the D, G, and B strings. So it just does it back and forth a bunch of times. So it sounds pretty good with that E until maybe the end. So you might ditch the E at the end there to make it a little cleaner. So that last riff, we're going to slide into the 13 and 12 G and B strings. So, and take that same shape. So it's 11 and 10 to the 9s. And then you can have like an 11 and 9 to the 9s. Hammer on here, 9 to 11 on the A. Back into those middle strings to the 9s. So, okay, so this new part, we. Okay, then we're in a verse, we got. Okay, so we're gonna have an E. This is like the honky tonk thing with the 6 chord here with the pinky. So we can do the big E string and the 7 and the 9. We're going into that 11 on the D string. So at the end of this one, we're gonna go slide into the 11 on the A, 9 and 11 on the D, and then an A note. So we got. So we go to a D power chord, A power chord, back to the E thing, and we got it. So there'll be a couple of different fills going on in here. You got this whole thing where you got the 9/11 on the A. You do that kind of hammer thing, kind of keep that real tall so you can hear the note below. So we got. Okay, so this one we get into the B chord. So we got. And then we're back to those chords. It's kind of more power chords this time. C sharp to A. And that E to B again. A power chord. Next verse. So that same kind of stuff in the end with like an A, and then we're gonna have. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the B power chord. You can be like 2 on the A string, 2, 4, 4, or 2, 4. So we got 2, 4 on the E, A power chord. Kind of hit a big E there. Kind of hit big E's around these moving up. A to C sharp to E. So the last one of that is A, C sharp, B, and then you're like an E. And then we're gonna have the solo's gonna start. It's like there's like 3 measures holding kind of a 3, 4, 1, 2. There's a little note there, 1, 2. So it's on the and of the 4 there. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have the 4, 2, 4 in the A, 2, and then 4 to 6 on the D, 4 in the G, and then we have a. So this is a quick pull off, 6 to 4. Then we're gonna do a full bend on that 7th fret. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have bend on the 7, and then 7, 6, 4, 6, 4, hammer on, pull off, to the 7 on the D, 6 on the D, and then we have a pull off, 7, 4 in the A, and then we have a 7, 5 with a 4 after it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one comes in after the other one finishes. You got. So we're gonna have 9 on the G, and then 9, 10, 9 on the B, 11, 9. The 9 here starts the new measure. So it's like hammer on, pull off, 9, 11, 9, to the 11 here in the D, to the 9 here. So now this one's gonna be da-da-da, like a triplet. 11, 9, 11, 12, 11 on the A, down to that E note, 9th fret G string. Now this next one's going to slide with the middle finger on the G string into the 18th fret. So we go into the 18 on the G string, and then we go 17 on the 2nd, back to that 18 and back. Bend the 20th fret, and then 20, 19, hammer on, pull off, 17, 19, 17, 18 on the G, so we got. So once we get to that 18, we go back to the 17 on the 2nd, bend the 19, hit that 19 underneath it. It has like a slide down there. Then our next riff is 4, 5, 6, 7 on the D, little chromatic thing. So 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, 6, 4 in the G, hammer on, pull off to that 6 on the D, 4, and then bend the 6, get the little 7 on the smallest string. So we go up, little note, bend down to the 4, and then we're gonna have. So we slide into the 18 on the D, 16 on the G, quick slide from 18 to 20 on the G. And then we have 19, 21, 19. Now this melody is going to go. So this one is 12, hammer on, pull off with the 10, 13 on the G, 11 to the 9 on the D. So. Second time. So that one is. So you got your 10, 12 thing, 13, 11, and then 13. 11 on the D. And then we're going to slide into this 14. 16, 17, that's on the B. We're going to bend that 19th fret, the little E string. got all that kind of stuff, and you're gonna end up with like a. So you got your A to C sharp to B. So the last one of that, listen to that to get how many times and stuff, but it'd be C sharp, B, these are all power chords. A to B. And you got your. Now this time it has a little. So this one goes 11, 12, 9 to 11. So the last one would be. So we got 11, 11, 8, 9, 11 to 8. 9, hammer on pull off, 9 to 11, 9, 11 this time. You're gonna bend that 11 up, 9, 8, 9, and then the hammer on pull off thing. So once again, we got. And then we have this 9 on the G. So it's 9 and then 9, 7, 9, 10, 7, 9, and then the hammer on pull off to the 8, 9, then 9, 10 on the B string. Okay, so. Okay, so we have a D shape, we have 4th string, and then the 3 on the 2nd string, then the 2, and then we have a sus down here, our pinky's on the 3rd fret of the small string, so we got O, 3, 2, little 3, and then right after that little 3, we're going to go back to the 3 on the 2nd string, and then we're going to switch to the 2 on the small string, back to the 3 on the 2nd, and then we're going to go open on the G, so it's. Then we're going to come over to this C bass here. We're going to have the 3 and the 3 on the bottom. So we had 5th string and then small string, 2nd string, and then switch the bass to the 2 there, then switch to the bass to the big 3, and just do 1, 3 on the 2nd string. So it's. Okay, so the whole thing. Okay, so that's our first main part. Okay, then after you do that a while, you're gonna have this C9, 3, 2, open 3, just those 4 kind of middle strings. So the chord will be followed by 3, O, open 3, open 3. So it's strings 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2. So. Then we're going to have 2 in the bass. That's going to go 2 and then G string, 2nd string, G string. Then we have little 3, 3, 3, open, and then open on the 2nd. So it's. Okay, so this new part, this is like part B. If you keep going on this part, it's going to go. So So that's part of it. A minor, O2, and then 1 on the second string. Back to that 2. Switch to the 3 in the bass. 3, 2, and then second string, third string, both open. So it's. And check out the tabs on this, makes it a lot easier. D, we got open 2, 3, and then the D again. So quick hammer, open to 2 down here. And then little 3, back to that 3. So this whole part B again is. That leads us to this next rhythm. We got this G power chord. We're going to kind of aim for the top 4 strings in this. So we have G up to the C on the 8th fret. And then the E minor down here, we got 7, 9, 9, 8, 7. Kind of aiming for those 4 middle strings. To a D major, 5 7s here. So we got. Let's try that real slow. 2, 3, and. After you've done that a certain number of times, E flat major, 6, 8, 8, 8. So 3, let's do that last one. It's G to C to E flat. 3, 4. And now we go E minor 7. And that's your E minor with the 3 on the second string added. So here we have the A sus. I'm going to use my second and third fingers here. Start with the pinky here and the third string. So it's a sus 4 to a regular A to a sus 2 to an A. Okay, so that's E minor 7. We'll go to G. Then we go G, D with the F sharp bass. Kind of some open strings. So you can kind of go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 on those opens. Now we're into a D chord. We're gonna have a new little bit. So that was a D, and then 3, 3, 2, 3, 3, open on the G, and then we've already seen that one. Now we have a new thing that's starting kind of like our intro, but it starts moving around a little bit, and it starts just starting on the 2 3s on the second string. So it's 3, 3, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, then A bass, and then we get back to our. Okay, then at that point you go through your A part. Do that again. You got your B part. And then you get into your D part, you got your. That might be your best bet there. Now this D part this time is going to have E minor 7. We have our A thing. Now we're not going to go to the G here this time. We're going to go B minor A, D, B minor, E minor A, G, and then we have dum, dum, dum. So that's a G, D with the F sharp bass, E minor 7, and then we're on page 2 of the tab. We get. So it's just little variations. Next verse kind of starts with that, but then it kind of resumes what it used to have. That kind of stuff. Then we get into a. So those are kind of new things. We have a D to a D sus. And then we'll get into our little riff here, but it'll be a little different. 2, 0, 3, 3, 3, that's C bass. And then we have a little walk-up bass. So watch out for those things in the tab. Then we'll be back to part A. Kind of ends with a little walk-up, O to 2 into that C add 9, G with the B bass there. So here we have a little lead bit. We're going to be on the 12th fret of the B string. Okay, so we got 12 on the 2nd string. Little half step bend. Back to the 12. Over to the 10. Up and down again. Hammer on pull off to the 8. Okay, the harmony to that is. Okay, so it's G string, 12th fret, full step bend, 12, up and down to the 11, 11 again, 12 up and down, and then end on that 12. Same note as the other one does. So you end up in unison there. So we got. Okay, then we have a lead that goes. Okay, so let's take a look at that. We got 6, 7, 9. On the G, 7, 7, 8, hammer on pull off, 9, 7 on the G to 3 bends there. We got. And then 7 to 8, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7 here, hammer, 7, 8, hammer on pull off, 9, 7, bend that 9 up and down, 7, 6, 7, 8, 7. This time 10. 10, 8. Hammer on pull off to the 9. 7. Lower 7. Then we're going to go to this 7 here. So we went into the 11. Hammer on pull off. 12, 11, 12 on the D. Then we go. That's hammer on pull off, 14, 15, 14 on the 2nd to the 16. Bend that little 17 up. Now later there's leads like. So these are kind of downwards bends. So it says it's like a 3/4 bend, like a, then a half, and then like a quarter. Bend that 9 up, and then 10. That kind of ends that lead, and then we're back to that harmony. But this last time it waits and it goes. Okay, and the harmony goes. Wait. All right, this is Smokin' by Boston. This was a request from a while back. This is a great tune. So we're going to start with this main riff. We got. Okay, so that's our A riff. That's our main riff of the tune. So we have the A bass to the 2 2s of that A power chord on the D and G strings. We go kind of twice on that. So O 2s, O 2s, and then hold that one for just a second, hit the 2s again, 3 to 4 in the A, down to that 2 in the G. So it's. And it kind of sounds like he chokes that first chord a little bit. let's try that. That's gonna go 7 times. 3, 4. Now the 8th one is just different on the last note. It's like 3 to 4 to open A there. Okay, so the last one is, and then we're in the verse. We're gonna come to this D chord here. We're gonna have, okay, so we had the 5 and 7. 5 is on the A string, that's a D power chord. Okay, so we got that 9 on the D string, little honky tonk thing. We got, and kind of a chick, so it's dum dee da dum dee da dum dee da. Chick to those 5s on the D and G strings. And we're back to that other riff. So we do 1 of each there, and then we're back into that D. Now here we're gonna go same A riff, and then just A bass to 2s twice. We hit this 3 on the way to the E power chord. 2 E power chords. That's D, D, A. And then E, C, G, D. So this whole thing is E, E, D, D, A, E, E, C, G, D. So then we're gonna do 3 more of that A riff. And then 1 of the B riffs to the open A there. Then we're in the chorus. We got, so we're bending that 4, pulling off. That's G string. Go to the 4 and the D. So A twice, and then here I went to the D. You probably could go to that 4 too if you wanted. We're gonna do 2 D chords after that one. So either way, or. And then we're gonna have C, C, D, D, and then this riff here. So 2, 4, 2 on the D to that 3 there, 2 A's. So this whole chorus again was. And then we do it again. Now this one's gonna have a little different ending. Go to that G there. We have that 3 bass, kind of mute the A and hit those 2 opens there. So we're back to our A riff. That was our B riff. Another verse now. We got. Got that A again. That A, and then we're in the chorus again. Okay, so that time we had the 2, 4, 2, 3, A to G to D this time. So you could do it down there. It's a power chord, D. Or you can do it here. Okay, and you see that one where we had the. Sounds good with the D bass or that 4, either one you want. We're gonna hold that D for 4 bars, and then we get into a piano solo or organ solo. We're gonna have this kind of a riff here, a little rhythm riff. Okay, so it's 7 on the D string with 5 on the G string. Kind kind of just strum that a bit, listen to it, and kind of figure. It kind of changes all the time. It's a little tricky, but you can have kind of a basic thing going and works through it. So, and then I'm gonna go sevens on the 5th and 4th strings and take them down one, and then. So the second one, you just have you have less chord hits, kind of like 2 of them. Kind of wait a second. You got 5 in the second. Bend up and down on that 7 on the G, pull off to the 5, go to the 7 on the D. So the whole thing is like 3, 4. Here you just do 2 of those riffs. Real quick, one after the other, and then you start over again. Then this last part's gonna go. So hit those 5s after the 7s, 7s, hit the middle string 5s, and then do a trill on that open 2 on the G string. Okay, then we're into a new part. We got, so that's the A riff again. So the second half of this is gonna go kind of 2, 2, 4, A bass there, and then 7s to 5s on the D and G. So it's. Okay, so the third measure there was the same as the first, and then we have a 5s to 7s quick, 5s to opens, kind of slower. So the whole thing is. And we do that 3 times. So I'll do it 2 more times. 3, 4. Now we move on to the last part of this. Same thing. So that one's gonna have the second one going to the A bass, our little B riff we call that. Then we're gonna have so A, and then middle 5s, part of the C chord, and then kind of 3 sets of the 7s, 5s to opens, a little slower. We got an A there. So that last part again was. Hold that A for 4 bars, and then we get into a new thing. We got so A bass. We got dum da dum da 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 dum da. So there's a little triplet in there. So it's like a swing feel thing. Dum da dum da dum da dum. But you got a dum da dum da 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 dum da dum da dum da 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 dum. So 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it actually goes 16 times of that. Then we have some power chords. We got 6, 8, 8 up here, B flat, 5th fret, A, G on the 3rd, A, B flat, and then we go 5, 3, 5. Okay, so that was 6, 5, 3, 5, 6, and then 5, 3, 5, kind of quicker. And then we're gonna go 10 on the A string, 8, 7, 5, 3, 1, and then A chord again. Now here we're gonna have this interesting half diminished chord. So that's 2, 3, 2, 3. And that one holds twice as long as the first chord did. Then we're gonna come to a sus A. 3 on the 2nd string with the A chord to regular A major. Okay, so that was A, hold for a while. And then B half diminished or minor 7 flat 5. Hold that twice as long, and then you're back to A, but with that 3 in there, the sus. Back to the A. We have a new riff. We're gonna go 17s on the 2 middle strings. So we had 17 sliding down, and then we had the A power chord. Kind of has like doing an A in between some of these. So we got 5, 4, 2, 4. Okay, you can kind of do them as single things or kind of as a chord too. Okay, then we're gonna go 2 sets of 7s and then 2 sets of triplets there. So, and then we're back to a verse type thing on this D. Hit those 5s there for that C chord thing, and then we're gonna stop on the A and he does organ fills. We do this twice. Okay, then we're gonna have our E's again. D, D, A, E, and C, G, D, and we're back to it. Back to a verse. Kind of a double there, and we're gonna have this, so kind of triplets involved. So we had E, and then D, 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 A, E, and then same here, little triplet on the C's, G to D at the end. Then we have our riff. So we did the riff regular twice, and then we had A, G, A for the ending. Okay, Smokin' by Boston. Let's look at that chorus one more time. We got. Okay, so that's how we get started with Rock and Roll Band by Boston. We're going to start out with this B power chord here, 2 on the 5th string, 4 and 4. We're going to hit that twice. And then we're going to lift this ring finger out of here to make a 2-2-4 chord, and it's going to go. So 2 times back and forth there, so we got. And then you're going to hold that into the next measure just a little bit. So we're going to have that B chord again to an A bass, and then an E power chord, E bass, A power chord, E bass. So the end is E to E, A to E. Okay, so it's 2, O, E, E, A, E. Okay, it's kind of a weird little part. Or just take it kind of slow at first when you're getting it. So we do that 3 times through. I'll say this is the 3rd one, and we go into it just chugging this. Okay, so it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and then we go 2-O on the A, 3-O or 4-O, whichever one you think sounds better there on the E to the E chord there. So this last time of this first thing. You could also give a little kind of a half bend on that to kind of make it sound like between the 3 and the 4. So we got the 2-O, 3. We're going to an E power chord there. We're going to go. So we had the E kind of before the measure, goes into the first beat of the new measure. So it's like. Then you hit it again. 3-4 in the E to the 2 down here, back to the 3-4. So we're going to go. To the A, and then hit the A again. 3-4, back to the A, big 3-4, open, and we get into cycling that. So it's like. So So this fourth time of this thing, we got. Okay, so 05, 06 on the A there. Back to this regular, but we have a fill here. So that's 040 on the A, 34. And we do that one twice. So the 2 times of that would be like. Here's where we get into the change going into the chorus. So we have a 3-4 F sharp power chord. Then we hit it again, so it's. So we kind of slide into the 6, 6, 4, 4, 6, 4 in the A there. We get into an A power chord. So we got the F sharp, little fill there, and then we get into the A chord. Going to the B chord. So that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so that whole kind of ending thing is. So we got a double lead that comes in here. I'm going to do them at the same time. Okay, so it's 9s, 8 and 7, 6 and 5, 4s, 6 and 5 again, 1 and 2. So you could split them apart and do them singly. So the high one would be 9, 7, 5, 4, 5, 2. And the other one would be 9, 8, 6. 9, 8, 6, 4, 6, 1. Put them together, you got. Okay, and after that little fill there, we got the chorus chords coming in. It's going to be C sharp power chord, A twice to B, so we got. Do that twice. And then we go to an E chord, we go. So bum bum dee dum bum bum. Got the F sharp there. Chromatic 2, 3, 4, 5. So this whole thing we got. Okay, so we had kind of the A to the B to the E, and we do that twice. We go. Okay, so we got a riff. 4, 2 on the A, big 4, 2, 4, up to that E, or you could probably hit an E chord there at the same time. So it ends with. And then we're back into a verse. So from the E honky tonk thing, we got. And then we got, on the upbeat, we start a new verse. So the verse is going to be the same, the tricky parts where we had that. Down, of course. Okay, so we're going to chug on the E there. That's going to take us into the solo. So we're going to bend the 13, and the second time we're going to bend it, kind of give it some more vibrato. And then we're going like. So kind of a series of letting the bend come down. Okay, so we're going to go down to the 11 after that. We got 11, 14, 11. 14's on the second string. We're gonna have 11, 13 bend, a little 14, bend it down, 11, 13 to 11 on the D. So we got. Then we come over here to the 7. We're gonna have 3 of those little things. We start with the 7 and then we bend the 9 on the G and we go 7, pull off to set 10 to 7. So we got. We're gonna hit the 9 here, then we're gonna come to the 16. Okay, so bend the 16 and then hammer on pull off with the 14 to the 16 on the second and back of that 14. Then we're gonna come to the 19. So up, down, up. Same thing with that pull off, hammer on pull off thing. And then 21st. We're gonna bend that one up, so up, down, up, and then 9, 7, 6 on the D to your E starts the next verse. So solo one more time. We go. So same stuff for the verse. One fill is a little bit different when we get to the. We have a different fill this time. It's gonna go. So D, O to O to the 3. So. Okay, let me keep going. And they got your chorus and stuff. Now when we finish the chorus this time. Okay, then we're to the very end of it. So what happened there was E, then we go up 2 to the F sharp. Maybe hit that twice. Then we got a 9 and 8 on the A and D. We got chromatic up to the 12, 11. 14, 13 twice. And then these power chords, 10, 12. To the 12 and 14, that's G to A power chords. So we had. Last little harmony thing. So it's 9s on the G and B twice. And then we're going 11 and 10, kind of hammering into these 12s. And we're going to go to 9, 8 at the end. Kind of slide into the 9s again. Now this last time, after we did that twice, we're going on an upbeat, D to A power chords, and E.